What are the benefits of agentic automation in your organization?
I feel like it's really enabling us to chase after targets that we couldn't before in automation. We're really excited to be able to use agents to sort of, hopefully 5x or 10x employees' capabilities and sort of be able to take more unstructured decisions and just, ride the LLM revolution into hopefully um, automating things that just weren't possible before. Like everybody in my company is very excited about what's possible now versus before when everything had to be, rule based and structured. Now, we can give automation some agency to sort of make some decisions that were previously only possible by humans. How about you?
Yeah, so I agree with what you said. I really think it's going to unlock new processes that we can automate, like in which we need non-deterministic decisions. But yeah, we should pay attention to the best practices in how to use agentic. So the next question would be, what would be some best practices that you take into consideration when deploying agentic?
I think it's really important to sort of give agents agency and let them do, make decisions, but it's very important to scope it very narrowly, such that they are, you know, only able to make a decision upon a small subset of like a business process, as opposed to giving them a million things that they could possibly do. Like you can't make a business process agent that just acts directly as a human. It has to be closer to just one of a human's functions, and they can make a lot of decisions within that single function. Uh, and then if you build a network of agents in that way, oh, sorry, the best thing to do would be to build a network of agents that all have uh, a smaller sort of subset of functions as opposed to one big agent. I guess that's the best
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. And I like to think, for example, that the agent is more like an intern in a company. So you need to treat it, you need to give a specific scope, a specific objective, and the prompt should be as specific as possible. And as you said, as narrow as possible. So consider it like a micro task. And yeah, at the beginning, I think in when you are deploying a process with agents, you should of course validate their output
Mhm.
as much as you can. But I think in time, humans are going to build trust around agents and they will become as autonomous as possible. But yeah, in the end, in the process, in a process in which you are using agents, you should validate the output of the agents by a human.
Yeah.
I guess we are still at that stage, but it's easier for a human to actually validate the information than to write it from scratch. So it's going to save time in a human's work.
Yeah. A lot of the agentic processes I'm designing have as a final output of the agent just a summary for the humans to look over. And not completely trusting the agent at first, but then hopefully as LLMs get more and more advanced, or maybe we move on to something like reasoning models,
Yeah.
just sort of change the model that's driving the agent. And especially if you just made it do micro tasks, then it would get much better at those micro tasks. And then hopefully one day you would be able to design agents that have a less narrow scope.
Hopefully, yeah. In your opinion, which UiPath innovation have been keys to enabling agentic capabilities?
Um, I really like that UiPath has been taking a stance of being sort of the Switzerland of automation technologies. One of my favorite things that they've announced and that I've worked with is coded agents. So I've made some agents on LangChain using Python, and it's been awesome that I could just bring those into the UiPath environment, have them access, all of the assets that I have within UiPath and sort of be able to publish it directly into my environment and integrate it more seamlessly with all the other UiPath products. And I'm excited that they've sort of indicated that they're going to bring even more technologies in. Um, and yeah, that's been my favorite thing. It's really empowered me to be able to do much more, especially as a pro dev, versus just being limited to the low code tools, which are very powerful if you don't, if you're not a very technical person. But as a very technical person, sometimes I want to do really specific things, and I'm glad UiPath has empowered me to do that.
Nice. So, do you think now is a good time for pro dev to join this ship?
Yeah, I think UiPath has sort of done a great job of allowing people with the capabilities to sort of squeeze more juice out of the platform that would normally be possible if you just wanted the easiest possible experience. I think UiPath has done an awesome job of catering to users from all different experience levels. If you want to make an agent through Agent Builder, that's like a really relatively simple thing to do, but you're empowered to make an agent using LangChain, which can basically do anything that's possible in an agentic application currently. So I think it's a really great time as a pro dev to sort of join the UiPath ecosystem. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think pro dev should try at least to use the tools. Now we have like coded workflows, coded test cases, so testers can join as well. I think the capabilities of the testing products are really great and integrate very well with RPA and with application development. And yeah, now and all the SDKs that are going to be launched, they are going to give them more and more freedom to test things.
Okay, awesome. So, what kind of impact does context grounding bring to your customers, or what sort of offerings can you do now because of that?
Yeah, so with context grounding, now you can train the agent like you train an intern or employee. So you can give give to the agent all the knowledge that is inside the company, like the protocols, the best practices in doing its actual job and its actual micro tasks. So yeah, I think this is going to bring more success in the output of the agents and the generative AI activities overall, because you can use context routing with generative AI activities as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I also like that you can bring it into autopilot for everyone and sort of allow people to pull information that might be buried in a specific policy document for the company very easily, and sort of have everybody at the company um, be very capable in understanding all of the company policies very easily just by sort of asking a question to autopilot for everyone. Um, and it's also enabled a lot of the agentic use cases that I've looked at, that a lot of them are sort of like compliance evaluation. So it's very useful for the agent to sort of understand the policies a lot.
Yeah, especially this is going to be like a big plus in Europe because of GDPR. So this is a big plus.
Right on. Now that Data Fabric has been announced, now that they've explained so much about it, how do you think Data Fabric will impact your future projects or how you architect them?
Yeah. So I was really excited yesterday about data fabric because I've actually have a lot of use cases in which from a big object, like let's say a use case, there is a customer that is receiving an email, and in that email it might have like multiple invoices, and those invoices might have like multiple purchase orders. So now I can really have an overview of the whole object in the business process. So I can have an email that has multiple invoices linked to it, and those invoices have multiple, for example, purchase orders or information that can be used within the project. So yeah, it's going to be easier to understand how what is the actual scope of the business process, what it actually automates, and yeah, it's going to be easier also to explain to the client what's inside it, because now I can just show a picture and here you go. This is how we use it.
Yeah, as a visual understander, it
Yeah,
does simplify things a lot.
Yeah, and now all the data is joined in a single layer, and that's also a big plus.
Awesome.
So, what are some upcoming features or products that you are excited to try and get into production as soon as possible?
I really like the API workflows. I know it's been private preview right now, and I've gotten a chance to really play with it, provide some feedback at the early stages, and it looks like a really promising thing to be able to sort of do these serverless executions, not worry about allocating robots, and just be able to integrate all of these systems in the background. I think it's an offering that's existed in the market for some time, but bringing it into the UiPath ecosystem is going to make the UiPath ecosystem a lot more powerful. It's going to really put some teeth on the integration service product that's been around in UiPath for so long. It's going to finally, I guess, let us use that to its full power, making UiPath like a real iPaaS competitor. So I'm really excited for API workflows. How about you?
Yeah, so I also agree with what you said. I've been waiting for API workflows as well. And besides that, I'm excited about the possibility of fine-tuning the models in a modern document understanding project with active learning. I saw the demo and it really looks very smooth. I think a business user can interact with it really easily, much easier than it was with classic DU projects in AI Center. So yeah, I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
And I'm also excited about UI agents because I hope it's going to make it easier to implement projects with UI activities because some customers are still using UI activities. And yeah, it's going to be much easier. I mean, developers can join much easier. I mean, a person can be upskilled much easier now with UI agents, at least to do the deterministic RPA, so deterministic project, rule-based RPA. So yeah, that's a big plus that I'm looking forward.
Yeah, I'm really excited about UI agents as well. I've played with some of the other UI agents available from OpenAI and Claude, and I think they really fall behind in that everything has to be done by the UI agent. Whereas the UiPath's offering, you can just enable a UI agent at a specific screen that might not be as deterministic as the rest of the RPA workflow. So it's really, really powerful to allow the RPA to, have rules based up to a certain point, and then maybe get to a screen that's not so structured or different every time, or you maybe expect different pop-ups there at the time, and you could just tell the UI agent
Yeah,
your goal is to get past this screen, and you don't have to do so much coding to
yeah,
to get past it.
yeah. There are a lot of situations in projects, especially in UATs, in which you are testing the automation and suddenly a pop-up that no one knows about arises, and then you need to map it again. And with the UI agent, you can, if you are going to encounter that pop-up, you're just going to say them, okay, just any pop-up you encounter, just discard them,
Yeah,
and maybe throw a business exception or something.
and that's if you're doing it proactively, but
Yeah,
reactively there's also the healing agent, which is
yeah,
basically gonna do this for us as well automatically, and just hopefully maybe pop-ups will stop being the bane of RPA in the very near future.
yeah.
No.
I'm excited about healing agents too. Yeah, I'm going to try them.